Hello everybody. So I'm gonna make this video, and this video is a little pointer that now during this time that we have so much free time, I'm want to start doing things differently, taking different approaches to things in my life that not necessarily is out of order, but could seem to, you be having troubles and struggling, and you don't really have time to think about how you're going to fix these solutions when you have so much things going on. You hardly have time to think about anything but what's at the moment most important would be whatever's going on with work. People hardly have time for themselves, to think about situations at home that needs to be fixed, corrected, And one of those things that I sometimes struggle with is with my children, how to approach them, how to get them to listen sometimes. Because, I have a 21-year-old and I have a 9-year-old. The 21 is one thing, and then the 9-year-old obviously is another thing. So I'm going to just focus right now in this video on the 9-year-old, because for the 21-year-old, I need more thought. I have to think more about it, because obviously a person's character, not only that, the way they feel and they think, it really happens to develop throughout the course of your life. So whatever you're exposed to, whatever you experience and how you see those experiences, that's most important. So whatever you are exposed to and whatever you experience and how you see those experiences, how you view those experiences. Because as a kid growing up, now my son, no longer teenager, he went through his teenage years and he was very to himself, especially when he was not in a good mood. So when he's not in a good mood, he would keep to himself. When he's in a good mood, he talks, he laughs, everything's great. But for the most part, he seemed to always be upset towards his teens years. I can't understand why, but it could have been that certain things going on around him, he didn't know how to deal with, didn't know how to talk to me about it. Or if he did, he wasn't really, if he did mention something, it was really something that at that moment, I really couldn't do whatever it was he wanted me to do. In terms of who he was being raised with. So that's a different story too. But anyways, as a result, he is who he is, and there's nothing wrong with who he is, but the only problem would be is how maybe he was approaching his life, and maybe what he wanted to do with his life, his outlook and his goals. But I know I drifted from what I wanted to say. So at this point in his life, he's 21, he's going to be 22 in August. And he's been through a lot of changes in his life, obviously my life, but I deal with change all the time. But kids don't always know how to deal with change, especially if it's constant changes or just different types of changes. And I don't mean like changing from one school to another. There's other changes that happen that affect children when it's happening, and maybe when it happens all the time or all of a sudden. So if you as an individual have so many of these things happening and you're not able to handle one at a time, or you didn't handle that first crazy situation to happen, and now you're thrown into another situation and you really don't have time to absorb that search, it just spirals. Like, it just gets out of control. And so that that could have been something that my son went through. And I'm only saying that because I'm looking back, because you have to understand, everybody, like I said, sees things differently. So what was going on with me, I could maybe didn't realize that something was going on with him, and I was just thinking, oh, he's a kid and something kid must be affecting him. But I didn't realize that it could have been adult stuff affecting him on a kid level. Okay, so moving now to my daughter and I, the relationship that we have. So again, when you're experiencing a lot of things going on, so let's say you have a bad relationship and you have children and that relationship is taking a toll on you, and you have to work and you have to come home and you have to cook and you have to clean and you have to try to pay attention to the kids, but you really can't focus on them because you have some other things going on, and you really don't want to even think about the situation that you're in, because you just don't even have time to think about that situation. It's not the best thing to be thinking about at the moment, so sometimes people just put shit off. Anyway, so with that said, when you're raising your kids, you sometimes don't raise them the way you should, because you're just doing everything fast. You're not really taking time to think about, okay, strategically, what am I doing wrong? Because we don't want to blame ourselves. We want to blame our children. Our children's not listening. They're just misbehaving. We need to punish them. And we don't even sometimes try to take a step back and realize, why is this kid like this? Because I'll tell you one thing. If your child is well behaved in school and then acts like a little monster at home, what does that mean? It means there's some type of discipline that's lacking, because you have to understand that you go to school, there's structure, there's rules that need to be followed, and there's behaviors that are not tolerated. When you come home, that shit goes out the window for some of these kids, because things are not enforced at home. And it's just because sometimes you just don't have the energy, I told her to pick this up and she didn't, so you just go and pick it up yourself. You don't have the energy to go and say, listen, come here, I told you to do this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, that happens. That would happen to me too, because unfortunately my daughter, she's really messy. She's a real messy little girl. But that's only happened because we've allowed her to be messy, right? Maybe you did everything for her when she was growing up. Got her clothes out, got this, got that, did everything for her. And you would think as she get older, she's going to want to do this herself. Some kids will. Some kids will get older and want to start doing their own thing. But some kids just feel like mommy does it, mommy's going to continue to do it, and I'm going to just let mommy do it. That's one. Two is they'll try to do it and they'll purposely do it incorrectly so that you could get frustrated and do it yourself. And then they have you doing what you want them to do, but because they're not doing it correctly, and you don't have the patience now, patience went out the window, I'll just do it myself. And that's the type of person I used to be. So, and I'm still, I still struggle sometimes with it, but I've realized that's who I am, who I was. I was the same way at work. So you should think about how you behave at work and how you behave at home, because it's the same. Just switching roles, but the behavior is the same. So it takes a while to understand these things, because you don't see them as something wrong with you. You see that as you don't even realize what you do. And somebody once told me that, but the way the approach was a negative approach. When you want to convey something to somebody, you should be positive about how you convey something to them, because if you convey it to them in a negative way, guess what? It's going to go in one ear and out the other. The same way with your kids. If you tell them something in a negative way, it will go in one ear and out the other. So we should be smart, analytical, and we should analyze our actions, our behaviors, how our children behave, or not even our children, but anybody. When we treat them a certain way and they treat us some other type of way, and it's not what we have in mind, it's probably because how you're approaching them, how you're approaching the situation. So that, I would say, is a no-brainer. But until you start analyzing, these things in your own life, you're not going to realize it until you have an open mind. So once you have an open mind about things, and you could take fault and blame. Nobody wants to be blamed. I don't want to take blame as a parent. It's not me, it's her. She doesn't listen. That's the first approach. But in other situations, she just listens. So why is she engaged? What are you doing different in that situation where she's engaged and she's listening, as opposed to the other situations? Now, obviously, if she's engaged in something like you're saying, come on, let's go watch a movie. She's like, yeah, let's go watch a movie. Of course, she's going to want to do that. But not every kid's going to say, yeah, mom, I want to watch a movie with you. But the whole point is this. It's something positive. I'm telling my daughter, hey, mommy, you want to come watch a movie with me? And she'll say yes. But if it's like, listen, you left your shirt on the floor in the bathroom, go pick it up right now. It's like, I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to do that. So those are some of the things that I actually do have issues with her right now, which is her doing things that she's supposed to do, doing things, you see, like I said, that she's supposed to do. How do we get her to understand that this is something she's supposed to do? Well, another way we could do it is we could have her mirror us. So I still like, shower my daughter, take her, because we're both female. So we go to the bathroom, we do our thing. So I would say, okay, let's get our stuff. Let's get what we're going to use when we get out of the shower, our undies, our PJ, whatever. I'm going to comb her hair or whatever we need for the bathroom. And we take all what we need. We go to the bathroom, take a shower, we get out and, dry ourselves. It's another thing, the way she dries herself, she'll dry herself and then throw the towel on the floor. And then you're like, do you see me throwing the towel on the floor? So again, the approach of screaming about throwing the towel on the floor, it's because I've lost my patience, and I've realized that. And I'm a very patient person, but the thing is, it's not about that you are patient. The thing is that you get tired of the same behavior time after time. So this incident for her is just like, I just did it now. Like, why are you so upset? It's because of so many years. Well, yeah, let's say all the times that she does the same behavior that I reprimand her for, and she's still doing it. It gets to the point, it takes a toll on you. So you're at the point that now you're going to be like, what are you doing? Pick up the towel from the floor. You don't see me doing that. Why are you doing it? So, again, with this type of behavior, let's say we're in the bath. So in my head, I have to put a mindset that I'm here to teach her stuff. And now with all this time that we have, I need to try to be more patient and understand that there's something that I'm trying to work out with her. So let's say we grab our stuff. Now, it's silly because now you have to take baby steps. You really have to take baby steps because I'll tell her, get everything you need and come to the bathroom. And, let's take our showers. She'll grab what she needs, go to the bathroom. We're showering, we get out. And it's like, she dried herself. Okay, where's your underwear? Oh, I forgot it. So what happened? Now I get upset. Didn't I tell you to bring everything you needed? So now what do I have to do? What I have to do, I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to have to do because, like I said, I've been analyzing what I could do to make these things not happen anymore. I'm really tired. And so what I figure now is that we really have to take these baby steps to get her to do the things that I need her to do. So fine. What I'm going to tell her now is after she grabs what she needs for the bathroom, I have to review with her. Okay, sweetie, let me see what you brought. You got your toothbrush. Great. You got the toothpaste. Good. We don't always keep this stuff in the bathroom. Don't ask me. It's just this. Okay, toothbrush, toothpaste, your brush to comb your hair, because I always comb her hair before she goes to sleep, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But that's another thing, structure. We have to get into routines. Okay, so to brush her hair, her undies, what she's going to wear when she gets out, the towel, and that's pretty much all she needs. So I would have to make sure she has everything she needs. Oh, and her slippers. That's another thing, because she likes to run around barefooted, and I don't like that. And I don't do that. So that behavior is just her lack of care of putting on slippers, walking with slippers in the house, because I do it. My boyfriend does it. She should do it. I tell her all the time, constantly, about wearing them, Anyways, I remember when I was a kid, I sometimes wore it, sometimes I didn't. I just like running around barefooted, but that's something you just have to train. It's a training, like in life. Everything's training. Everything's a process. Everything's steps, Okay, so she has everything now. We're in the bathroom. She takes a shower. We take a shower, whatever. I wash her hair and everything, do everything we have to do. Now I say to her, okay, we're done. Now we shake ourselves out inside the bathtub, because that's what I do before you step out. You're not going to be away. And so what I do is I take the towel and I dry one foot, take that foot out, dry the other foot, so then I don't wet the floor. Now this might sound silly to you, but you don't want your bathroom floor wet, right? You don't. Unless, you could also mop it up afterwards. But let's just try to, get her used to doing things right. Because right after she dries her feet, she'll put on her slippers, right? All right, so she dries her feet, slippers, put it on, dries the rest of her body. Now, puts on the underwear, one leg, take off the slipper, put one leg in. Seems kind of silly, but she'll do that. And sometimes I do it faster than she, obviously, because I have my routine going. And then she'll put her undershirt on, and sometimes she puts it on backwards and doesn't realize it. So I know that I showed her how to do this when she was little. I mean, younger. I always told her, just make sure if you see the ticket in the back. I don't know if this one has a ticket. I said, you see the ticket in the back? You know that goes in the back. And you know how it's backwards when you see the inseams. You see, well, this is a black shirt, but when you see the inseams, when you see this, you know it's inside out. I don't really get upset with her with that. It just makes me laugh. But, these are things that she does. And, it just takes a toll on you when it's been done over and over. So, okay, so after that, she puts on her PJ, she puts on her undershirt, she puts on her underwear, she has her slippers on. Now I go and I comb her hair. After I comb her hair, I untangle it. She always cries because she always tangles her hair because she doesn't take care of her hair. And that's another thing that I'm constantly telling her about. Don't treat your hair like that. You're going to get it all tangled, and at the end, you're going to be crying. So that's just what happens. But anyways, the whole point of this is, you see, it's something you do every day, and you don't even take into consideration how long it takes for you to do these things that you do. I've also realized that because I do these things so quickly, sometimes I forget what I've done. And this was something that was happening a lot to me. I was doing things constantly so fast, because this is how we act. Rushing to go here, rushing to take her to school, rushing to get ready to go to work and all this stuff. You don't have the time to think about what you're doing. You're just doing it like a robot. But now that we have time to stop and think of what we're doing. Okay, I got my keys. Okay, you have to say this in your head just to acknowledge, just to remind yourself. Because when you do like a robot and you work and do everything as fast as you do it, you don't realize this. All right, so now back to the approach. So when you take disciplinary action, make sure it's not something too harsh. It's something you take away from her that she likes. One of the things she likes to do is watch YouTube. She likes to watch Gamer Girl. This is a silly little thing, but she watches it. And she has all these little YouTube channels that she likes to watch. And she likes to watch that slime, things with slime. Anyway, so the whole thing is this. This example that I wanted to talk about was one that she does all the time. So if I let her go, I would think at this age she could go take a shower by herself, because, of course, I'm going to compare it to my son when he was a little boy. But you see, this is what I just realized. When I had my son and he was little, it was just him and I. I didn't have a lot of craziness going on at the beginning of when I first had my home, when I first got my place, when I was 25, and I had my son. And my son was he was like four-ish, gonna be 5. But we had a routine. And I don't realize this until now that I'm looking back. We had a routine. I was like, okay, Armandito, that's my son's name. I said, we're gonna go out, we're gonna go to the park, but I need you to do this, that before we head outside. So once you have all this thing done, then we could go to the park. Because if you don't do this, we're not gonna go outside. And it was so easy with him. He really followed. I mean, sometimes I think it's just because it was him and me for a while. And then when you have all these other people that get involved, they just mess your flow. They just mess your flow. When you have people that want to think they're helping out, they feel bad for the kid because you're being too strict. Guess what? It's my child. It's my freaking child. I had him. I had her. I want to raise them the way I want to. Because at the end of the day, when they're acting up, I have to deal with them, not you. So this was something that I know I experienced. I know I could do. I know I was good at it. But I had to be one-on-one with my child. What happens is when it's not one-on-one, when there's co-parenting, when you have a mother, that wants to tell you how to do things, which is funny because when my mother took care of us, she was mean. She was mean, but she had to be in order to get us to do what she wanted. She had to be a witch, with a B. She had to be mean to us. And we thought it was being mean, but I think, my mother also got frustrated. I could relate with my mom. So now with my daughter, I need extra patience with her. So I figured when I asked her to do something, I'm going to, instead of just saying, Jessie, I need you to pick this up to this, I have to tell her in a nice way. I mean, I have to practice this, that's for sure. I have to think about it. I have to meditate on it. I do. And so that way I can remember how I'm going to approach her. So, because she's a beautiful child. I love her. She's really nice, very sweet, very strong head. She has a strong character. So that's a challenge, right? Because I don't have such a strong character. It's only when I get to a certain point that I go crazy. So with my daughter, again, the approach would be, I would go to her, because she's very sweet, go to her and talk to her nicely and say, Jessie, mommy, can you please pick up your tablet from the floor? It doesn't belong there. I see you left it there. Can you please do that right now? And can you please put it where it belongs? Do you know where it is that it belongs? And she would say, wherever she thinks it belongs. And I would say, no, mommy, I told you to put it in the bottom drawer, in the plastic drawers, the last one. And if it's occupied, put it in one that it's not occupied. Okay, can you do that right now, please? Please get it done. And when you finish, please let me know that you did it. Now, you're saying, damn, that's so much. It's not so much. What's so much is me telling her, Jasenia, can you please put your laptop where it belongs after you finish using it? And then I continue doing whatever. And then I look and it's still there. And she's still doing whatever the heck she was doing. Jasenia, can you do what I just asked you to? How many times did I have to do? In order to avoid that, you have to start with this approach. The baby step, sweet baby step approach. Use as much details and be in her face, telling her, Mommy, you left your laptop where it doesn't belong. Do you know where you left it? And of course, she's going to say no. And she'll say, no, Mommy. And I'll say, well, you left it by the windowsill on the floor. Is that where it belongs? And she'll say, no. So, Mommy, why did you leave it there? I forgot. Okay, Jessie, so now what I need you to do is please pick it up. Put it where it belongs. Do you know where it belongs? And she's going to say, I don't know. And I'll say, well, Jasenia, if you're going to be using your laptop frequently, you're not going to put it in your book bag because we're not going anywhere. You're going to put it somewhere where you have easy access to, that's not too high that you can't reach, right? So where I typically tell you to put it is in that plastic bottom drawer. Now, that's where I want you to put it, so it's easy for you to remember where it is, okay? Now, can you do that right now, please? Please? And if she's probably, hopefully she doesn't, but sometimes she'll go, oh, God, I don't want to do that right now. And I said, please, Jasenia, it's your responsibility. It's your laptop. If you don't want to put it away where it belongs, I'm going to put it away where I know it, where I know where it is, and you won't find it. So you let me know what you want to do. And there you go. And then she'll get up, either happy or not happy, go over there, pick it up, put it in the drawer. Now, I'm hoping she does it nicely because I did speak to her nicely. And the other thing is that she catches an attitude sometimes when you tell her what to do. That behavior, I don't know where that came from. Because it's her stuff and it's not where it belongs. So the other thing would be like, would you like me to speak to you like that? Is that what you want me to do when you say, Mommy, I'm hungry. Can you make me a pancake? and I'm gonna say, so that's that's the only way I get it, because then she puts it, visually thinks about it. Would I like my mom to make faces huff and puff when I ask her to do something for me? No, because I enjoy doing these things. She's my daughter. That's why I had her. Well, no, I love my daughter. So of course I do these things because I love her and I want to do it. She's hungry. I want to take care of her, all that stuff. But these are things that you have to put in their heads because they don't think about it. You put it in their head so they could think about it, analyze it, and say, you know what? You're right, Mom. I'm sorry. And that's it. Anyways, I know this is a pretty long video, but I hope you use it wisely. If you have any questions, need any other tips, because right now is the time. This is what I'm doing right now. Right now, I'm working on things from home, you know, finding out ways to better our lives, be more peaceful towards each other. Anyways, that's enough for today. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Take care.